wire wrapping, all you need is some jewelry pliers. You probably need at least 2 pairs, some wire cutters, and some round nose pliers. This one is like a 2-in-1, so I just use this, and these are the 3 tools that I use whenever I wire wrap. You can use whatever wire you want, but the best sizes are 18, 20, and 24 gauge. These are some of the beads I'm going to use to make this necklace. If you're just doing some simple wire wrapping, gauges 18 and 20 are perfectly fine, as well as 24 for necklaces, but keep in mind that the thinner they are, the more fragile they are. You want to avoid overworking your wire and playing with it too much. There's an extent of how much you can move it before it just snaps or the paint and coat tarnishes too much. You also don't want to leave the piece with too many dents, so you have to be very careful with overworking and avoiding it. Over time, you get better at avoiding overworking the wire, and you just get better at avoiding simple mistakes. As you can tell here, I take the nose pliers and start looping the wire around, giving it a little notch. I then take them to hold it in place and take my regular jewelry pliers to wrap it around this to make sure it is secure and in place. Once you have it wrapped around, you can do it 1, 2, 3 times, whatever, and cut off the excess. You want to start making out your pattern. You just want to start laying out your beads. For the pattern you want, I'm making this My Melody bracelet. You take that piece of wire, you adjust it, and you slide on the bead. I cut my wire to be around 6 centimeters long. I then bend the wire to make it this little L shape, and then bend it around so it's circular. And you can see here me doing that. And once you wrap it around, you want to make sure that you take that excess and wrap it around and cut it off if it is too much. But you want to make sure you secure it tightly. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that the piece does not poke up and poke you at all, or the wearer of the bracelet or necklace. You don't want them to be uncomfortable, so you want to make sure you take those pliers and push them down so they're not poking you and they're not sharp anymore. You don't want to cut the wrong wire the wrong size, so I try to cut a few at a time as I go, and here I'm doing that same little bend and then wrapping it around the nose to get that round shape again. Once you do this, all you have to do is close it. This is the first step of every knot you do. You close the first one, slide the bead on, connect them, then close the second one. Pretty simple. You repeat this progress over and over. Now that you slide the bead on, you make that L shape and loop it over again. You want to make sure you do not close it so you can attach it to the little strand you're making. It's super easy to forget to connect them, so you might make a mistake and have to destroy the wire and redo the bead again, and it's super tedious. Just take your time. It takes practice and just like hand memorization. Don't forget to make sure you clamp that wire down so it doesn't poke the person who's wearing it, and it should start looking like a little formation. Here I am making that L shape and then wrapping it around the nose hook to make another loop, and I'm going to secure it with the pliers and make sure that it's closed shut and not going to open again. The wire I'm using right now is silver coated copper, but I usually use silver filled wire, which is a little bit more pricey. Then again, you put that bead on and then you make that L shape again and wrap it around the hook. Don't close it because you want to connect it to that strand again. You don't want to make that mistake. That's a silly little mistake that I used to make a lot and is very common, so don't feel bad. Just make sure you remember to connect it. You want to make sure you don't overwork the wire or pinch too hard. Another thing is wrapping masking tape around your pliers to not bend it as much or make too many indentations whenever you're clamping down the wire. There is also little tools you can buy. You kind of coat them in this wax thing and it allows it to not damage it that way, which is also a cool thing, but I just don't do that. I'm lazy. I'm going to take one of these head pins. I have round head pins, but I'm just not using them for this. And I think these are 2 inches or something, but you're just going to take them and slide on your desired beads. I'm going to put on a tiny one and then the flower bead so it's a little bit more texture and it looks kind of like there's something in the flower, like a little pollen set or something like that. Then again, you're going to make that L shape and then you're going to loop it around the nose of the pliers to make it nice and round. You're not going to close this one either because you're going to attach it to the bracelet or necklace, whatever you're making later on. And here is how the bracelet is looking so far, and here is me attaching the pendant to it. You don't have to do it in this order. You can attach the charms last. I just kind of like seeing how they're gonna lay out on, and I like putting it around my wrist while I'm making it to make sure it lays pretty. Here is the My Melody pendant attached, and I'm about to add on the flower now, and I'm just going to loop it, and it could be a little tricky, but once you have that, you just take the other pliers and wrap it around, and then you want to cut off that excess, and make sure you be very careful. Either hold it down with your fingers so the wire does not go flying, and close your eyes and look away like I do, or wear safety glasses like it says. Be very careful, guys. Here I am taking another piece of wire. I looped it around my nose. Now I'm going to take that excess and wrap it around to tighten it and secure that loop around the wire. I'm using a half hard wire. Dead soft is not preferred for this method because it's very weak and it could easily break. Same with anything that is under 24 gauge wire size. You just want to make sure you're doing the same process over and over, and you're being very, very careful not to make too many mistakes because you don't want to waste that money on that wire, especially if it's quality wire. And here I am going to add on another flower bead. Hi, I'm Cozy and I run Cozy's Jewelry Shop. I make crystal jewelry, and this is one of the pieces that will be available on my shop. If you're interested in making jewelry, go ahead and subscribe and comment what type of styles you would want to learn. I welcome you all to my channel, and I hope you guys are interested in learning to make jewelry because that's really what I want to post and show you guys. I'm hoping to post videos about wire wrapping and soldering, so I hope those may interest you, and if they do, please stick around for some more videos. As you can tell, making jewelry is a very tedious process, so I understand if you guys don't want to make jewelry and just want to buy it from people, or if you just don't find anything your style and want to make it yourself. That's exactly why I started selling jewelry. I hope this brings someone inspiration and helps inspire you to make jewelry for yourself, even if it's just for you and your friends. I have this Hello Kitty necklace that I've had since preschool that's a little locket, and I used to keep a photo of my parents and my loved ones in there because I have really bad anxiety and I used to get really anxious. So seeing anything Hello Kitty now makes me feel really calm and brings me back to those good little kid memories. And I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I really hope that you guys can resonate with this piece and maybe make a piece similar of your own one day. If you like crystal jewelry and you want to see some of the items I make, go ahead and check out CozyJewelryShop.com. If not, just stick around and you'll probably see me make some other items in my videos. Thanks for sticking along, and I hope you have a wonderful day.